I'm also noticing here that it seems like the home builders here are not building entry-level homes. Is that just because you think there's more profit to be made in more expensive homes? Is it because they can't afford to build that because of the land prices? What's your take on it? And if it's because of the land, then how does Tanager plan on solving that problem?
The first question is, I think, related to the most builders work on whether they admit it or not, or whether they depending on how they get there, they want to maximize their dollars per acre of revenue. It's hard enough to find a piece of land and process the land and get it through all the development issues and mapping and platting issues and stuff like that, to where once you tackle that, you don't want to leave money on the table by doing less expensive lots, which is another way of saying larger lots sometimes, unless the market will support a very large sale price for the larger house that would go on that larger lot. So generally speaking, you want to maximize the value of your land. So I think that's one of the reasons the large companies don't do it. The other reason is from my own experience, is I think they don't have to. They're doing quite nicely, thank you very much, doing what they're doing, and they don't need to take chances or gambles on doing entry-level homes or themed homes or anything out of the box that they normally build in. When they're forced out of the box, they'll move out of it. But short of that, they're happy doing what they're doing. Then they're, I think, as a rule, the mindset of the big companies is they're risk takers in certain areas, but not in others. They have to answer to directors and stockholders, and it's harder for them to kind of take a walk on the wild side and do something different.
Okay. And you feel that Tanager can solve the issue of the creating entry-level homes that are actually affordable to the majority of the public?
Yeah, I like to bring the creative, as you know, I like to bring the creative solution to the front. And so a lot of the stuff that I learned at Lamplight with Karina's corporation's homes at the Lamplight villages and the like applies directly toward how we would go about solving the entry-level stuff. So we want to build entry-level homes, but we don't want to build them cheap. Cheap meaning lacking curb appeal, lacking community features and stuff like that. So the question becomes, how do we lower the cost of the home and still yet make it something that people can be proud of, actually feel lucky to be able to have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor, as it were. So that's the challenge, but I think there's ways to do that. And when we control the streetscape, we reduce the size of the house, we can reduce the size of the lot. I think we can back off the finishes. We don't need to include certain of the things that seem to be automatically included in new homes nowadays, because I know that up here, for example, a starter rent might be $1,700-$1,800 a month for an apartment, and we can deliver, and that apartment has got apartment grade finishes. It's obviously a multifamily thing. It probably doesn't have a garage. It may have a garage, but may not. But we can deliver a one-car garage home with better finishes, detached with a small but usable yard, and inside of a real community for the same monthly payment on an FHA on an FHA loan. So I think if we can do that, then we can have our potential home buyers say, look, I don't care if it comes standard with a laminate countertop, because the apartment did anyways.
Right.
Here I can upgrade that if I want to granite, but the builder is not forcing me to pay for something that I can't otherwise do. So maybe I have an 1,100 square foot house instead of a 1,600 square foot house, but the apartment was going to be 900 square feet anyway. So my 1,100 square foot house seems like a pretty good deal with an attached garage and a side yard and a backyard and a patio and all the stuff that I could do from home ownership. So I think it's possible. I want to dedicate the company toward a kind of a comprehensive approach to solving it, from the question of design, the question of community management, and everything we learned at Carina Corporation. We did our own homeowner management there because we were the only ones good enough to understand that managing the HOA isn't just a question of collecting rents and mowing lawns. It's also a question of creating community. And the same will hold true for these small entry-level projects that we want to do up here. We want them to be kind of an organic community, not just a collection of homes.